monster, Alan Davis. So, can anybody tell me anything about the Pope Lick monster?
Well, I deny everything for a start. And the Pope started it. No.
It is part man, part goat, part sheep, and it supposedly lives...
Part Catholic?
Part Catholic. And it supposedly lives beneath a railway bridge over Pope Lick Creek in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh.
It lures people to their death by hypnosis. Come with me.
Oh.
Yes, I have cake. Come this way.
Is that how you get your ladies?
Now, what can you see here? Have a look. What's that?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's not what you think it is. It's
not the Loch Ness Monster.
It's a hoax.
Yeah, it's a hoax.
It's a
I'm sorry, it's
very
a forgery.
famous hoax.
Do you know why the forgery was made?
Yes, I
Carrying
do,
the
because
prize.
I read a
Was
bloody
there a
book
prize?
about
There must
the
have been a
Loch Ness
cash
Monster.
prize for getting a
It
picture
wasn't
of
that,
Nessie.
actually. It was revenge, oddly enough. It was a journalist. I'll give you his name. Marmaduke Wetherall.
Marmaduke Wetherall.
Yes.
Yes, of course. He was... Shut up, I know something. I actually know something, yes. Marmaduke Wetherall was he was a big game hunter. And he was... there was a competition. One of the pit... Shut your face! There was years and years I've waited. I know about Marmaduke Wetherall. And years. And I remember at the time I thought, that's going to come in handy sometime. And then I thought, probably not, but turns out it is. There was a competition by one of the newspapers to prove that the Loch Ness Monster existed.
Yes.
So Marmaduke Wetherall cut the legs off a hippo and he made fake footprints with the severed hippo legs, and then presumably he got found out. And if you say no, I'll punch you in the face.
No, you're really close. You're really close. The point is, he wanted the prize. He was fooled by the artificial hippo footprints.
Oh, you say
and he went to the Daily Mail and said, I found these footprints, here they are. And the Daily Mail published them. The Natural History Museum saw them and said, this is a fake, these are hippo footprints. And he was fired by the Daily Mail. And he was so angry that he then put together this hoax with someone else whose name was Christian Sperling. And many people believed that to be Nessie. Here's a monster that someone made earlier, but what is it? And what's it made from?
Oh, my gosh. Is it carved? Is it made from bone?
It's a type of mermaid that was very popular in the 19th century. It's called a Fiji mermaid.
Ooh.
People come from miles to see it. It was shown off at carnivals, and it was made from fish and household bits and pieces. For a long time, people thought it was made by the addition of a monkey's head with a fish. And this particular one was acquired by the Wellcome Collection in 1919, and then later by the fabulous Horniman Museum. Do you know the Horniman?
Yeah. I live near there.
Don't you?
In Forest Hill, it's
South London,
brilliant.
yeah. It is an incredible place. A genuine museum of curiosities of the most fascinating
Yes,
kind.
it is. I've been there too. It's great.
It is good. It's a fine
You're just
place.
saying that because I said I've been there.
I go every week.
When you said you went to the aquarium, I didn't jump on it. Like, oh, yeah, I've been there. And then you have your time in the sun.
Time in the sun.
Oh, wow.
There we go. Now, look. You see now.
So were they supposed to be scary creatures?
It is quite scary, and you picture
Yeah.
it scampering in your bedroom or something, and it's quite...
They were a lot sexier
Nasty.
once they added the hair and the shell bras.
Yeah, exactly. But you'd be pleased to know that this is a result of the CT scans, which were made by the Horniman Museum for us, and Dr. James Moffat of St George's University in London translated the CT scan data into this 3D printing of the original. So this is a 3D printing. Isn't that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we like that.
Really good.
Yeah. And you can see how detailed it is. Even the little holes and flaws in the
Have you been to
fishtail.
St George's Hospital? It's really excellent.
I'm not going to play this game.
I'm genuinely jumped.
You've seen them at Dartmoor, haven't you, Widdicombe?
What are your monsters called?
We've got, on Dartmoor,
Yeah.
we've got the Hairy Hand. Are you aware of the Hairy Hand? Which is
You get it when you're about 15.
The hairy hand is a disembodied hand that would appear from nowhere if you're driving along the B3021, and it would steer you off the road. But there's
Officer.
Yeah.
And it smelt of cider, didn't it?
It dropped its point on me, and then it drove me off the road.
One of the people that claimed he'd been steered off the road by the hairy hand, he described it as invisible.
Oh, bless him for trying. What colour was Frankenstein? Yes.
Green.
Frankenstein was a baron in a novel who was a scientist who made a monster.
Yes, I know. And the monster's name?
The monster's name...
The monster's actual name in the book. He does have a name.
Go on, tell us.
Adam.
Adam, of course he's called Adam, because he's
It's
like
Adam.
the first man he's made. So, yes, what colour, obviously, was Frankenstein's monster?
Oh,
Yep.
green. But, purple.
Well, I was going to say it's sort of grey colour, but that's because I only ever saw him in black and white.
No.
I don't really know what
She
colour it
didn't
was.
write a black and white book, except in the sense the print was black and the paper was white, but she used coloured words, and she did describe Mary Shelley, who wrote the novel, of course. It's in 1818.
Dawn is yellow.
Yellow is the answer. His yellow skin scarcely covered the work of muscles and arteries beneath. His hair was of a lustrous black and flowing, his teeth of a pearly whiteness.
When she says it's scarcely covered, does she mean there were gaps?
Yeah, because he was like a dead body had been brought back to life. Now, where's the best place to look for the abominable snowman? I think this is an area of your expertise.
Yeah, you're looking
on
at
your
me,
left.
yes. I'll start it all off for the lads. Yes. Of course, you're looking at one.
Yeah.
The thing is called Sasquatch Bigfoot in Canada, and in Russia it's called the Almas giant, or the Yeti, Sukpa, or Maitama. Then in China they have their own hairy men, and it's Sukpa, Maitama out there as well, Yeti. And then in Sumatra it's called Orang Pendek, or upright man, not meaning an orangutan. There is no doubt at all that Yetis obviously do exist. There are great parts of the world that we don't know about. I mean, when I was in Mongolia, the Mongols are telling me that frequently in the late autumn that you get migrations of dozens and dozens and dozens of Almas giants.
Yeah.
And they see them in the distance. So I want to go out there one day and go to northern Mongolia and just go, "Oh!" And then I think that might scare them off.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you very, very much. Brilliant. So there are some who are disbelievers, unlike you, but you are a believer.
Yes, I completely believe, because all the different people I meet and different trackers I meet, I think... I mean, you have to remember that the large mountain gorilla was only discovered about 90 years ago.
Yes.
There's a giant mountain gorilla, you know, in Rwanda. And so there are so many... We're discovering them all the time. There's so much to discover. So I don't think we've scratched the surface yet.
And there are indeed centres for the study of them, one in Siberia and one in the Bhutanese area.
Bhutan has a Yeti park. Yes, that's right.
It's a hell of a thought. Well, that is a brilliant answer and completely correct, of course.
Josh, last year, you told us all about the hairy hands of Dartmoor.
Yes.
Is that right? They grab the steering wheel of your car and drive you off the road.
Yep.
And I wonder if you could just remind us which road you said it was.
The B3021?
Yes. This is, I can promise you, one of the finest quibbles that QI has ever received. There is a gentleman called Ian Dunn who has written in to point out that the hairy hands of Dartmoor actually haunt the B3212 and not the B3021. You are... I'm afraid you are having points docked this time.
Posthumously.
Yes. It couldn't be more wrong. The B3212 runs across Dartmoor between Exeter and Yelverton via the hamlet of Post Bridge. That's where the hairy hands hang out. The B3021, I'm afraid, goes from Old Windsor to Datchet in Berkshire.
Remember that next time you make a joke.
Yeah.
Can I just say that he watched me talk about these ghost hands that appear and drive you off the road, and his quibble was with the number of the road?
You didn't just let Ian down or the show down, you've let yourself down, haven't you?
In many ways, I think I've let Jesus down.
And his hairy hand.
Thank you for watching. Do remember to subscribe to the QI channel and click here to watch more videos. Well, please, come on, pick something.